like this, don't come in a box score. Keenan with the Kel, just give me the rock more. Weather off the glass, nothing but the net. I'ma get you set, pick and roll, we can go with the whole four. Dick Vitale, look at diaper dandy. NCAA with the great handy.
Courtside Conference Podcast. I'm the host, Sam Scott. My special guest, my boy Donovan, aka Paragon Donovan. TL, what's good, bro?
Thank you for having me. Lord knows. I've been thinking about this for a week now.
Yes, sir. I wanted you on like a while back, but I already had like 2 or 3 other people lined up before I asked you.
Listen, I completely understand. You know, he DM'd me and he was like, "Hey, you want me on the podcast?" I was like, shit, just clear my skin.
Hey, man. So I had to get the finals and free agent episodes out the way. I was sitting there at work. I was like, "Oh crap, let me hit bro up first." But how you doing today? You straight?
Yeah, just got done working for the white man. So, he's at home.
Shockers of capitalism got us all under the white man for right now.
It'll have to do for now.
But no, we don't get that. Are you a C's fan just like me? So when did your journey as a fan start?
So, really, I was a really big fan of Ray, and then it's fucked that nigga now though, but really big fan of Ray, and then just seeing the way Rondo played, I think like my fandom really cemented itself during the 2010 run, and just like I remember being in the middle of Buffalo Wild Wings, and when Rondo did that behind the back, where LeBron was gonna block his shot, Tony Allen, I screamed, like I just yelled, and I yelled in the middle of this Buffalo Wild Wings. I was like, "This is the greatest thing I've ever seen." And then when he dove on the ball for Jason Williams, I was like, "This is really the greatest play I've ever seen in my life."
That's great. That's what everybody in our age range, like super fandom, started.
So yeah, that's really where it started for me. And then I kind of got more of an appreciation for Pierce and KG, and then just like all the things that they did, especially Pierce. And then once they left, and then I had to deal with the Jeff Green and Gerald Green era, I was like, well, if I can stick it through this, I guess I can stick it through anything.
So you in North Carolina, right? The Hornets won't move you?
It's like I like them. It's just they ain't have nobody for real. I feel like a lot of people when they start fandoms for a team, it usually does start with a player and then it goes to a team. It just wasn't nobody on the Bobcats to make me be like, yeah, I need to be a Bobcats fan. Like it just wasn't doing it for me.
Gerald Wallace was a hidden note, right?
Crash. Nah.
Crash. Who else is on the team? Who else on the Bobcats?
Gerald Henderson. Kemba got on there at some point. Raymond Felton. I remember Al Jefferson going on. I remember going to a Hornets game and he had like 20 rebounds or something. It was some people over there.
They have some boys. They just want to move in the needle. It'd be like that. I mean, D was talking on. He asked me, "So what you about the Celtics? So what's your prediction for us at the moment for this coming season?"
I think we gonna be at least top 4. Like I feel like it's very easy to look at the Celtics and be like they're the same team as last year, but at the same time, like Kimba did so many things last year that I just wanted to rip my hair out of. Jesus Christ. I was like, that Lakers game really cemented myself of I need this nigga gone. And when he missed that mid-range jumper for game, I was like, nah, you gotta get out of here. So Kemba being gone, Marcus getting more duties as a PG, having a good bench. I do not think people understood how bad our rotation players were, especially with COVID and all that stuff. Like you sub out Jalen and Jason, and it is a madhouse out there. Like it's people from goddamn Planet Fitness out there. Like it's like what's going on?
We had guys that were supposed to be playing like 8 to 12 minutes a game, having to play like 25 to 30.
Timmy was like the third person off the bench. Like that's nasty. That is nasty.
Simi was a full-time like rotation player. And Simi is a situational guy.
Man, them couple games we be up by like 30 and niggas thought they was done for the night and they had to come back in like with 2 minutes left. I was like, bro, yeah, this team cooked.
That Raptors game where they had the big lead and then they put Tremont in them in, they blew the lead and Tatum and Jalen had to come back in. I was tripping. Tatum was on the bench like screaming on everybody.
Tremont is the best basketball player I've ever seen. Like he's so shifty and he gets everywhere he wants to go. That ball just does not go in ever. I've never seen a score in my life.
And Tremont be playing at such a fast pace for like no reason. But then when he get in with the starters, he actually be like kind of fun. You just can't let him man the bench for any amount of time.
So yeah, I think it'll be really good. I'm really excited to have Al back. Albie will be there to give extra mentoring to Rob, and like it is. And when if Rob is healthy, like it's not a lot of teams I really feel like can beat us. It's just a matter of if he stays healthy. But that contract extension, boy, that made me so happy.
I couldn't tell if the Woj tweet was real for like 2 minutes back when the day Rob signed.
That's real love right there. That's real love right there.
I was trying to sneak the play there.
That's real. That's real love. I respect that. I respect that.
Oh man,
that's beautiful.
But appreciate you. But the day Rob resigned, I was sitting in my car. And I looked down and I seen the extension tweet. I was just like staring at it for like 2 minutes. I was like, this can't be real. I even like clicked on the page to see if like it was a troll page. I was like, this really Woj.
I'm pretty sure I was at work for the Marcus extension and the Rob extension. Yeah, so both times I was just at my phone, like I'm in the middle of helping customers, looking at my phone to the side, and I'm like, smart extension, 80 mil.
So the smart extension, I worked at a house. I had a patient at the time. I was like taking outside to go home, and I had my phone kept like buzzing. So I looked at it, and I almost like completely like walked away, but I had to catch myself and like go back to it for the moment. I'm about to leave that old lady sitting outside waiting on her husband.
She not more important than Marcus Smart, huh?
She not, but it's all good though. But I'm happy though. Everybody got their money, except for Dennis, of course. But he gonna be in the hoop year, so he know he got a hoop.
And he know, that's why I feel like it is crazy because everyone downplays people that play for the C's until they leave the C's. So everyone was talking so much junk about Kemba and Fournier, and as soon as they leave, they like, well, y'all missing Kemba and Fournier, so y'all can't possibly be as good as last year. Like, do y'all know the things y'all was saying last year? Yeah.
That's
did y'all see what we were seeing about this man?
I got so many tweets about Kemba was good, he just wasn't healthy, and I was like, he was healthy, he wasn't that good.
Pressing him for back-to-backs all year, just for him to still have to sit out in the playoffs. That's what bothered me more than anything.
And then played bad in the 3 games. He almost lost us the 50-point game.
He was moving real nasty. He was smiling and vibes. Smiling and vibes and missed jump shots.
That's okay. Kemba, you were a cool guy, but it just wasn't the fit.
I love it.
So my thing about Kemba is I don't understand the fans that like saw all the same thing we did last year. And then was like, we could have traded him for something better. I don't understand the thought process going into it when we all saw the same thing. It's like, who would trade for this player making this much money?
And if anybody should get heat for what they did with Kemba, it's OKC because they just spent $30 million to get him off the books. Like they did not get anything off this man. Nothing. Exactly. Nothing.
And then they traded the pick we gave for 2 future protected first round picks that they might not get to like 2028 or something.
I don't know what OKC doing. I have been thinking about that. Like every time I think about them, I'm like, this is really gonna be like the Danny Ainge stuff times 10.
Sam Presti's fooling us. He just out there running around. getting draft picks.
Now it'd be crazy if he got his draft picks and leave, and then we could blame it on somebody else. That'd be insane.
The what's dude that used to be in Philly? Colangelo, not him. What's dude that started the process?
Trust the process. Yeah.
I cannot think of his name right now. So I think he actually had a real plan. Hinky, there we go.
There we go.
So I think he actually had a real plan that he just never got.
They really got him out the paint, and he seen the vision.
The lead said, "Y'all got to stop losing games," so they fired up,
man. And for kicking him out, they had to deal with Ben Simmons.
Yeah, Ben Simmons. So perfect segue. Let's talk about Ben Simmons. Ben Simmons wants out, and apparently refused to show up, as if he's been done some wrong.
It's crazy because I kind of I get why he would feel like he's been done wrong, kind of, but at the same time, him refusing to get better at any aspect of basketball since he's been drafted is insane.
That's crazy.
He's been at the things he was doing in his rookie season. If you would have told me he was doing the exact same things, I would look at you like you were crazy.
You told me he wasn't going to be like top 10 consensus by now. I thought you were crazy. So when he was a rookie, I thought he was the chosen one.
Because even during the playoffs and whatnot, like when he was first getting into the league, I was like, all right, well, they found a way to shut him off, but he can very easily fix this.
He can I was like, he don't have some pride. He don't hit the gym and come back and just jay us to death in like 2 years from now. Wrong.
Playing play with Jimmy Butler, like been playing next to top tier talent his whole career. And then you would think I thought Philly was going to smoke Atlanta. Like I was so mad because I'm like, if Philly is getting this cakewalk to the Eastern Conference Finals, and then the next thing you know, it's just slowly. But are they about to blow this? When I seen that lead, I was like, oh nah, y'all nasty.
Well, I was at work for one of them, like blowing leads, so I wasn't even paying attention. I was like, I saw Atlanta start hitting. I was like, oh, this ain't gonna be a problem. I just kept hearing lead to 15, lead back up to 16, lead to 12, lead to 7. I said, what? I said, wait a minute.
I remember looking on Twitter and just seeing that it was up by 26. I was like, well, all right, I guess this is about to go 3-2 to Philly or so, whatever the series was. And then the next thing you know, like it just kept going down and down. And I'm like, no way.
I thought they was on gentleman sweep them after the first game. So since they blew them out that second game too?
Yeah, I thought it had been just played in the post just a little bit. Like, I feel like he can be used not necessarily in the same way as Giannis, but at least like be a role man sometimes.
Yeah.
Like he do not need the ball in his hands all the time. But I would not want to see Ben Simmons as a role man.
Exactly.
And that's an easy fix.
It's such an easy fix, especially since he had Trey on him the whole series too, and like Atlanta didn't have no guards that could literally stay in front of him or like hang or any. I don't think they had front row players that could just say could bang with him except for Capella, I guess.
Yeah, if they would have had him and Tobias Harris or something in a pick and roll, and it's either Traegar and Tobias or Ben. If you get Ben on a roll and he either gets a free dunk or he gonna find the open man on the cut, like that's easy bread.
And the other thing that serious was, I don't want to give Doc the full blame, but Doc did play the bench units for way too long too. And when Doc go to the bench, Doc was going like 10 deep for some strange reason.
I don't. That's the only other reason I kind of feel bad for him at the same time, just because I know Doc be kind of iffy.
Doc be tweaking.
He got us that 08 ring, and I love him. And he's probably a top 3 players coach ever, if not the best players coach ever. But like when it comes to like just basic decisions, I'll be like,
yeah, Doc will see. Doc just be stubborn. He will see what needs to be done right in front of him. but just I guess he want to trust his guys, or I don't know what it is.
Some people,
But he'll see it. Like Doc saw Trez get like destroyed by Joker during that series, and just kept on him.
some people cannot be trusted. I feel like he should know this by now. There's some people you should be like, I don't think this is it, big dog. That's why I respect Ty, because it's like he's not afraid to be like, you stink. So we're gonna do this for now. We gonna see.
Ty Lue don't guarantee playing time to nobody except his stars. That man sat Patrick Beverly for a whole series versus the Mavs once they got down. And then casually showed him out there very next series, like nothing ever happened.
Yeah,
gotta respect it.
That's a respectable individual. He not scared to try nothing.
He not.
Him and I don't even like saying his name. That boy from the Raptors,
the devil.
Boy, that man.
That man will try anything too.
Had Kimba in hell. That man was running boxing ones. I ain't seen one of those since high school.
On Kimba ball players. I can understand if he threw it out like run Tatum to the ground, but that man ran Kimba to the ground that series. I said, come on, dog.
He ran Kimba to the ground during the All-Star game.
All-Star game. He was plotting. He started to play before we did. So what do you think the best fit for Ben is, though?
I really like him. I've heard someone say Atlanta before, and honestly, I wouldn't hate it. I gotta look at the teams in the league. I wouldn't hate him with the Kings, because here's the way I see Ben. I feel like Ben is a really good floor raiser, but it's just
taps out your ceiling a little bit.
The ceiling is limited until he like improves on his game. His ceiling's kind of limited, because if you playing the Sixers on a random Wednesday in January, like you're not gonna be like, all right, this is what we about to do for Ben Simmons. Like you just about to play your regular game, and Ben gonna get his 15, 8, and 7 with some stellar defense and call it a day. And that's not much you can do about that. So it's like that's gonna lead you to a lot of wins. And I feel like he can take a lot of teams to the playoffs, or at least get them really close. But as far as playing them and people scheming him out, it's not it. Yeah. And then people talking about him going to the Warriors, and I cannot imagine him and Draymond passing it to each other back and forth. Draymond pisses me off so bad, because every time someone puts a video of him throwing the ball out when he wide open in the paint, he always tweets about it and being like, I made the right play. Like, no, you didn't.
No, you didn't. The open layup was the right play.
You got bailed out. Thank God. But no, that was not smart.
What he say in that interview? Why would I shoot when I can pass it to Steph? As Steph is being like triple team every time he touches the ball. Like, that's why you shoot. That's why you should shoot.
Steph be off ball getting jumped. They be Steph be looking like what's his name from Jujutsu Kaisen when they was him and what's his name was jumping him.
Oh yeah, the curse dude. I can't think of his name right now. I know you're talking about that.
Man, they be jumping Steph bad off ball, and Draymond just be getting that ball in the mid range, and he be like, "Bro, where is Steph? Where?" Exactly. He will turn away from the basket to find this man. Like that's
Steph. Bro, Steph be getting guarded by 3 men with or without the ball sometimes.
He lucky Steph and I first, because I would have had to cuss him out by now.
If Steph was Chris Paul, they have to be by now.
Man, if Steph was Chris Paul, Draymond would have been gone by 17.
Exactly. After he would have been out of there. That's why I can't see Ben on the Warriors unless they trade Draymond.
I can see Ben on the Kings. I can see Ben on the Trailblazers. I feel like, I mean, they're not. The thing is, they're not gonna get much, and I don't really view CJ McCollum as much.
Yeah.
So I could see it being for CJ McCollum swap thing. I don't know how the picks or whatever situation gonna work. It'll help ball handling and having Embiid having someone else who's willing to shoot would help him, and then it would help the Trailblazers. Like, wouldn't be food on defense because Lord knows niggas see Dame and
CJ and then Norman Powell. They
elevate. Like the way them people in the Olympics was looking at Dame, that's how I knew people in the NBA look at him the exact same way.
Exactly. Ricky Rubio saw food on that boy.
It's only so bad I can feel for Dame because some of it do kind of be like the Nugget series. I was kind of when he had that 50-55 and CJ stepped out of bounds, I was like, all right, I get it. Like I feel kind of bad for you. But like them other ones where he just be letting people drive by him and shooting 4 for 15 from 3 in important games, I'm like, this man is not. That watch be kind of that watch me looking real G-Shocks sometimes.
And he do bring it upon himself because he refused to leave. But I do respect the subtle complaints that he be doing lately. I don't know if they're really subtle though.
I respect not running from the grind, but you also can't be mad at people from running from the grind when you in hell on a daily basis.
Stress.
You stressed because Compazzo is putting you in a blender.
Exactly. And ain't nobody coming to help.
And that, I guess that's like the only teams I can really see him on. And then maybe I seen like a D'Lo for Ben Simmons thing. And I mean,
that would be so fun.
I feel like Ben could get the Timberwolves to the playoffs. It's just they're gonna get smoked when they get there, but they gonna get there.
They get there, especially if they get there like as an AFC and got to see like the Lakers or somebody round one.
Man, if Rondo gets 2 championships with the Lakers,
I'll be sick.
I was really happy when he got his first one because I mean with the Lakers because I was like, all right, bet. Well, you know, my boy got 2. Chris Paul don't got none.
Chris Paul still got no. We here, real point guard.
But if I gotta see that man get more rings with the Lakers and the Celtics, I'm gonna just start crying and throwing up. I don't know.
Might send Danny Ainge some hate mail.
I'm gonna say Ray Allen some hate mail because that boy.
Oh, no, we definitely gonna send Ray Allen some hate mail.
That boy, it is crazy because I feel like when people when I talk about hating Ray Allen, I feel like people think I hate him for leaving, and I don't really hate him for leaving like that. I hate him because of the way he played in the 2010 finals after he hit the record threes. He stunk that
man stunk the rest of the
so bad. This man kept shooting, and I'm like, bro, please, God, no.
He got a getaway free pass when he went to play with LeBron though.
Man, I remember when the Lakers won. I was watching the game with my dad and my brother. I went up to my room and I just cried. I'm like, bro, I cannot believe that this is reality. Like this is the nastiest thing I have ever seen. Like every time I see that picture of Kobe holding up the trophy like this, I'm like, you goddamn bastard.
Well, I was heard that. I laughed at the Ron Artest interview though. I always thought that was funny. We got on the interview. Shout out to Hood. Shout out QB.
Ron Artest is the only good thing that I found about that situation.
Facts.
And then the 2012 series when Rondo also balled out and we got to Game 7, I was like,
I ain't never seen a bunch of 30-year-olds with 30 like that in my life. Them dudes with every bit is 35 that series. By the time that series got to Game 7.
That's why I'm like, I feel like people, I mean, the Celtics, the OA Celtics are really good, and I guess they are the basis for like a super team. But I feel like people hype up them a lot more, especially like 2010 and beyond, when it was really not. Because after 2009, when KG got hurt, like KG was never the same. Paul Pierce was, I mean, he gonna get you a solid 18. And Ray was gonna be Ray, and then Rondo was really like elevating that team far beyond to what it was supposed to be. I remember us being a 4 seed in 2010, and people thinking we was gonna get smoked by Cleveland, and then us smoking
Cleveland, smoked Orlando.
I don't think people thought we was gonna get smoked by Lakers, and we ended up taking it all the way. When Kendrick Perkins got hurt, I was like, Jesus Christ.
Man, I wasn't even at home that guy. When I got home that day, and I said he won't play, and we was down 20. I think the commentator said he was hurt. I said, come on.
And then 2011, when D Wade broke Rondo's arm, I can't like D Wade no more after that either. Because I was, bro, that was people be talking about Kelly Olynyk, and I'll be like, bro, do y'all know? Did y'all see what D Wade was out here doing?
Exactly. The problem for those years was we ain't had no youth on the team except Rondo. And then in 2012, we finally had some youth. Everybody kept getting hurt. So that's when Avery started playing well. Then his shoulder came out the socket or something like that. Midway through the playoffs. And then that's when Jeff Green had the heart condition. So he was out the whole season. So Rondo was the only person on the team under 32.
I see why they love him so much, because he was really I feel like they understand he was really taking them far beyond what they were supposed to be. I mean, they showed him the ropes, and he was like, all right, I got y'all. I'm gonna do this for y'all. And he tried his heart out, and I can't take that from him.
Now he gotta go to LA and get the Lakers straight once again.
I need
my guy just can't rest.
Not have that team. I
cannot get behind the Lakers and Nets finals matchup just because it seemed too good to be true. It's not like the Cavs and Warriors joints, but they was clearly the best team so close beside coming.
It's kind of like how the Clippers and Lakers were too good to be true, and then
still haven't seen it.
It never happened.
Yeah, or what was that year? Spurs and Warriors that one year where the Warriors won 70 and the Spurs won 67. Then the Spurs got the boot from OKC in round 2.
It's all basketball guys don't like stuff like that. So we gonna see who they smite. So
see who they don't smite somebody. They smite and mess up the Nets.
It'd be crazy if we get Clippers and Lakers and Nets and Lakers in the same year. But I don't know. Basketball guys don't like stuff like that. So we're gonna see. I feel like if anybody gonna mess it up, it's gonna be the Nets, because James Harden on that team. And Lord knows that boy. That's why I couldn't he was very obviously hurt, but at the same time, that's what you do. That's what he does. So it's like when you do that all the time, I can't really say you doing that because you hurt. That's just what you do.
He clearly couldn't move to his best, but at the same time, he was still doing his usual flailing and falling down after threes and
that
stuff,
shit
dumb stuff like that.
On flail at 100%.
Exactly. So it's you do this, hurt or not. So it's who's to really judge where the injury is affecting you? It's clearly affecting you, but this stupid stuff is not there. That's your fault.
He was just throwing the ball up. And
exactly.
I miss when he used to take mid-range jumpers.
Before Dan and Tony, with the days.
That was a great when he was in Houston, them early Houston days, and he was taking mid-range jumpers, and he was doing step back mid-ranges, going fed. I was like, yeah. This nigga did. And then once he stopped doing that, he just became entirely too predictable.
The nastiest thing in the world was when he first got to Brooklyn. He took some middies those first couple of games. All the people that usually hate him, I was starting to like Harden again. I was like, yo, that's disgusting. And this is from somebody who actually does like Harden for the most part. Except when he does stupid stuff.
I want to like him so bad. It's just he be doing stuff, and I'm like, where you make it so like that. The series against the Spurs when Kawhi was hurt,
man, that was so
he put up them 13. I swear to God, I was in my room when Kawhi wasn't gonna play this next game. I was like, dang, that sucks for the Spurs. It's gonna be really.
Rockets.
I was like, that was a Rockets easy money, but James Harden about to go crazy. The best defender in the league is gone. Man, I seen this man had 9 points and 13 turnovers. I was like, oh, you are nasty.
I couldn't believe it all more.
You are nasty.
Huh? It's a read.
But yeah, Harden's a nasty guy. That Spurs, I held on faith for a couple years after that one though. with the 27 straight threes, the 27 straight missed threes. When I finally legitimately started to waver. And then the next year when they couldn't win the game without KD, when he got hurt.
That 27 straight threes thing made me so mad. It was like I seen why Rockets fans kind of felt some type of way because some of them threes they missed were very obviously bad. But at the same time, if you have missed 10 threes in a row,
you need to try something else.
You got to. When you get to 15, 20, come on now. If you hit one mid range, it'll probably open up your three. Probably.
Exactly. And the thing was they was taking like super tight contested threes and just like forcing them to.
And the thing that be pissing me off is that people be up on the Warriors and they just blow it. Houston, James Harden and them be up, and then it get to the third and the fourth, and you just slowly see like everything start to crumble. And that's another reason why I can't be giving Dame credit because that year he was up double digits every game at halftime and smoked all 4 games.
No, specifically up 17 at some point every game, and then blew up.
It's like at a certain point, it's like
you gotta have some metaphor too. Come on,
I don't. You can be playing the Monstars. Like if you up 17, like you gotta hold the league. You gotta hold the league on one of these games.
And you got role players,
especially if it's name time.
And you got role players getting hot every other game too. Like one of the games, Myers Leonard had like 20 first half points, and then every time Dame dropped the ball, he would like throw up some super deep three for no reason and clank.
Yeah. And then it was I remember one of the games they lost. Steph ain't play, so it was really Clay and Draymond versus Dame and CJ. And you would think like that probably should go in Dame's favor, and they had Dame in hell.
Yeah, it's like when the chances are there, you can't really get past it. It's just like you can add context to the situation at home and be like, okay, that's not really such and such fault. But then it's always like 1 or 2 outlier games or moments where you'd be like, no, that's his fault.
Like this whole thing is your fault. I can't solely blame you for this, but like you played a part. You played a part in this more than people want to make it seem. And that's kind of how I feel about like Chris Paul during the Suns run. I feel like people wanted to absolve him too much because Devin Booker was fucking up. But at the same time, Devin Booker had 2 back-to-back 40-point games. Like some of that Chris Paul.
Yeah, some of that, especially the first 40 point. The first 40-point game, he had like 10 points and had like 3 turnovers in that fourth quarter.
That man is a fantastic front runner. When that boy up 15 points.
That boy 15. That man's the coldest point guard ever.
New Orleans.
Like during that Nuggets series, every time they get a lead, Chris Paul would just start jailing to death. My whole timeline was the point guard. He could have been doing this a long time ago.
This is the thing. I think that was the basketball guys. They was talking about Chris Paul MVP. They was talking about Chris Paul Finals MVP. First, the Chris Paul MVP conversation was disgusting.
Yeah.
Nasty. But that Finals MVP, after they was up 2-1, I was like, oh no, y'all not. Now Giannis came, put on the burners.
The Giants gave Giannis a healthy knee for the rest of the series. It was a wrap.
That Chris Middleton agenda was also very nasty.
Nah, that was super nice. But no, that one is more funny than anything because the Chris Middleton had to wait like 2 to 3 games to ever push the agenda.
It was really like Chris Middleton would have 3 bad games in a row and would randomly like go off for 30, and people would be like, "See, this is their best player," and it's like, what are we talking about?
It's like he hasn't outplayed Giannis in the game in like 2 weeks, bro. But every time he got over 25, here y'all come.
That's why I'm really glad Giannis ended that with that 50 and 15 and 5 blocks. Like,
bro, that was the perfect game to close on. It's not only did he do that, but Middleton and Drew sucked for most of the game.
Yeah, Middleton and them.
Drew could have scripted anybody.
Drew was looking crazy. it's so wild because it's crazy how like one basketball play really changes so many narratives. Because had KD hit that three, they would still be talking about Giannis going to Miami or something. Like
Yeah,
the whole basketball dialogue of Chris Middleton, Drew Holiday, like everyone slandered Drew Holiday's extension, like all of
exactly.
this. But just
But,
one basketball play flipped all of that into
but
buying into good players and all this stuff. And I mean, it is what it is, but like that's
yeah,
really crazy how little stuff affects that.
exactly. But that's not. I don't think that's an indictment or anything except like the state of the like culture, I guess, around basketball dialogue because it's so like hot take based at the moment. Like
Uh,
we be hot takes, we be joking most of the time. Man. But even not the like actual talking heads who get into the hot taking like Perkins be coming on the timeline. Wow.
yeah, calling people like poor man such and such is like
Yeah, no,
one
that's
like
more funny than anything.
like slander. Like sometimes you're trying to push an agenda on a TL
Yeah,
to be funny, but like when you on a syndicated talk show that gets millions of viewers and you talking about Giannis as Robin, like you are nasty.
super nasty. That's okay because don't know nastiness get unpunished. Everybody that was nasty throughout that whole last season got something at the end of the day. Like Perk was running around wilding, and then got blasted by Jalen Rose the very next day after the finals.
Everybody who's talking about Paul George,
They were yep, the
that,
Paul George agendas. Paul George then finally ready step to the play.
I'm very glad he was able to do because I will admit I was on the
It
Paul
was on
hate train. Wasn't even hate. It's just like he really like
he just an easy target.
he's an easy target, but he also brought it on himself at times because
But
he
the
would just
whole
say things, and I'm just like, bro, just please hoop. Like this,
just please,
yeah, I know Kawhi would look at him like, bro, what are you doing?
please. And that was my problem with that whole Clippers team. The first year they was there together. It's
Yeah,
like everybody on the team, except Kawhi, because first of all, they all just talked and talked and talked and did nothing.
I don't know. And when Kawhi retired, we not see him again.
Never.
Yeah, we will never see that man again. If
You
somebody gonna see Kawhi in like the Bermuda Triangle, like
know,
just on a basketball court.
exactly. Cool. We don't see Kawhi 2 times after he retired. At his jersey retirement and at the Hall of Fame ceremony.
He gonna pop up at the All-Star game, but he gonna be in the Raptors like Sting. Like he's gonna be up there, and they gonna be like, "What is that?"
Kawhi
Kawhi.
gonna be in the press box. Every time that man goes to Toronto, he gonna have his own special condo waiting for him. He not paying for none of that whole city again.
Uncle Dennis gonna do his Hall of Fame retirement speech.
Dennis gonna do the speech for him. In reference Kawhi third night, or Uncle Dennis gonna give his own statement of his speech at Kawhi ceremony. But nothing about Kawhi. Speaking of nastiness stuff, how you feel about this Rich Paul stuff the last couple of weeks? You feel like it's overblown? It's
You know, a part of it being, I feel like a part of it is kind of overblown, but from my understanding of the situation, it also sounded like he was keeping Nerlens Noel from somewhere from LeBron's interest, if I'm not mistaken.
that's
That's
what they saying.
that's what I was seeing. I was seeing people was like he was keeping Nerlens Noel from signing somewhere to benefit LeBron or something. And if that is the case, that
It,
is that is crazy.
yeah.
But the owners have hated Rich Paul for a very long time.
Very
So
long
I
time.
know they were just looking for something to
It's,
just anything. Because I can't imagine. I mean, because honestly, even if he was doing that, like I can't imagine how many of these other agents would also do something the same thing. Like I know if whoever Katie agent, if they were also fucking Dennis agent or something, and Dennis wanted to sign with the Nets rival or someone. Or Dennis wanted to sign with the Lakers. Like, let's say none of this stuff ever happened. Dennis played for the Kings last year or something, and he wanted to sign with the Lakers. That I can see that agent being like, I don't know about that, dog.
Yeah, and trying to steer him towards like the Knicks or something like that.
Yeah, just and like it might give you some more money, and then it's like, nah, I wanna win. I wanna win a ring, and it's like, nah, just slide over here. I can get you some more bread. Like,
Yeah.
I cannot imagine how many other owners or how many other agents also do stuff like that. So it's a representing someone is a very very hard business, and you gotta. I feel like you gotta throw away a certain amount of morals.
Yeah, especially to really succeed deep in the business too. You gotta play dirty. But my thing about the playing dirty is they act like he the first one, like you said, to do these tactics, and it's like he had to learn the game from somewhere. So this is the way the game was taught to him to play. That you can't keep pointing the finger at him and saying, you see," when it's the common like way is like being played. You know what I'm saying? And you can't say Rich Paul doing this, you see, and then the whole other rest of the field is doing the same thing.
Yeah, I know them other agents as well. It's only so mad I can be about it. I mean, it's an agent, it's a black agent that is LeBron's genuine friend and has been friends with him since whenever he met him in that airport. Like, I know them other owners are like, this is gross, and he black. Hell,
He blood. But from what people, I was just like an interview a couple weeks ago on Knuckleheads, whatever. And they had DeJuan Wagner on it. Just him and D Miles played in Cleveland. And from the way they described Rich before he is now, you know, Risky from Everybody Hates Chris. Dude who could get anything. Yeah, they said that was how like Rich was. That's pretty much how they described him before he was who he is now. They said you needed like jerseys, some DVDs, or you needed anything like that around the way. You could call Rich and he'd pop up. So of course now you know the dude from that type of background, the conglomerate of rich white people don't want to see nobody like that make it.
I'm not surprised by that. I mean, he seems like a resourceful dude. I mean, if he could meet LeBron in an airport and convince him to be his friend, like I know that man's talk game is crazy.
Exactly. And you just ride the wave with LeBron up the ladder too. And you branch off from LeBron and got all the other big clients. You said what?
That you don't know Jay-Z verse when he was like, I sell ice to the winter, I sell fire. Yeah. I am a hustler, baby. I sell water to the well. That's
rich. But that's fire though. So I'm not mad at him. I respect the hustle. But like I said, if he is doing dirty business in LeBron's favor, which we can't really prove at the moment. And to me, the LeBron thing sounds like just hearsay or like fan speculation rather.
It's gonna take a lot to prove that, and even then, it's gonna be like, I mean, sucks.
But he probably did. It seemed like he did bad business, or just like neglectful business. I say on Noel part, which it happens.
It definitely seemed like from what I was reading, it sounded like more he put Noel to the side instead of it was like, I'm trying to finesse you. And I certainly can understand why Noel felt that way. But it was also like him and Dennis did the same betting on yourself thing, and it just did not work out.
Exactly. Like he got like Noel had a whole bad rap or whatever the whole time. Like he was in Dallas. Just he re-signed there for the low after trying to finesse more money. And then he got hurt. And when he was healthy, he was like the end of the bench guy. So now his value was like really, really low. So it's like the opportunity for a big payday was never really there the past like couple of years. So if he's saying you screwed me out of money from turning down the initial deal, then cool. But I don't think he screwed out of any money after that though.
Oh,
which don't make it no better though. I'm just saying.
Absolutely not.
Yeah.
Especially when like you a big man who's kind of injury prone, like there's not money for that.
Exactly. Especially when you haven't really had a season worthwhile of being a key contributor piece anywhere until this past year.
Man, I used to love. I thought Noel was next.
I thought he was too. I
Who,
thought he was in a perfect place in Dallas.
who's that one player that you swore up and down was like next up that ended up being nothing more than like a rotational player?
Oh man, damn, that's a tough one. One player, I thought Marshawn Brooks was up next for real. When we traded for him, I thought like when Marshawn was in Brooklyn, he was kind of nice that like rookie year. So I really thought he was up next, and then he kind of flamed out.
Man, I thought Mario Hezonja was going to be a dog.
Yeah.
I wanted Mario Hezonja so bad. I wanted him so bad.
Oh man, let's see who else. Man, there's a lot of guys I thought was up next, but ain't never beat the bill.
I thought Jabari Parker was going to go crazy.
I thought Williams was the one.
I'm trying to.
I thought Dante Edson. I thought Trey Burke and Dante Edson were going to be like kind of nice in Utah together.
It's crazy how much Andrew Wiggins has accomplished for him to still be slightly underwhelming. Like he has been a 20-point scorer every year he's been in the league, and he's still like, dang, you kind of mid, and that's so crazy because that's just so. He was really supposed to be the next LeBron,
and he's currently on the max contract still.
And he's not gonna get off that.
He don't ride that contract out. He might not get another big one, but he gonna ride this current one out.
I feel like somebody's gonna get swindled into giving him really big money after this.
Like Harrison Barnes. That's also who I thought was really gonna be one of them.
He pissed me off so bad in the 2016 finals. We wouldn't even. There's so many things that would not even be discussed had this man just hit a jump shot. Like KD wouldn't have went there. LeBron wouldn't have had this other ring. Kevin Love wouldn't have one. And I didn't hate Kevin Love for getting one until this year. That man don't want to leave Cleveland, but he's throwing temper tantrums. That's corny.
He don't want to leave. He don't want to get no money up to make it possible for him to leave, which I respect and want to hold on to. But it's like, if this is the case, then, after holding it, I guess.
I ain't never seen nobody just throw a basketball at another player at your teammate the way that he did. Like, what are you doing? Are you good?
Are you okay?
If you got to sit, just relax. Like, so man, the fact that he missed all those threes and KD went there, like I ain't never seen a man so wild. He was really Joe Harris before Joe Harris.
But the thing is that his cold streak came after he had like the big game and to actually put him up 3-1. And then for the following 3 games, he just clank, clank, clank.
Man, Curry would have had a Finals MVP.
Exactly.
Had he scored in Game 7, then Draymond Game 7 would have like for real went down in history.
Exactly. You're looking at Draymond a little different.
It's so I don't. If as a matter of fact, if Harrison Barnes would have hit his jump shots, KD would be playing for the Celtics. Because that was the second place. We in the second place he wanted to go.
Exactly. If Harrison Barnes hit some jump shots, then Draymond might not be in the parking lot, calling KD right after the series ended.
That man would have been calling him drunk. Like
ha.
You smoked that. And now we got a ring out of this.
Exactly. Now we got the greatest team ever. It's a double-edged sword.
IT with a good hip, KD, Al. I think was Jalen.
We just drafted Jalen. We drafted Jalen the year KD signed the Warriors.
And then we still had our picks, so we still could have got.
Yeah, we still had the that's
been crazy.
And we still could have traded for Kyrie. And we would have had KD and Kyrie.
KD, Kyrie, Jalen, and Jason.
Yeah, and we never had to sign Jordan Hayward.
Hate that man.
Like you said, a couple of shots change everything, man. A couple of shots change everything.
Do not like that, man. I feel like it's because that was really Hayward was one of my favorite players in the league because I just liked him because he really just balled out in Utah every day and didn't really talk that much. And it was just smooth. But like as soon as he came here and his leg exploded and then he just could not.
It was all downhill.
What made me mad is when he went to the Hornets and was talking about getting an expanded role, and then he was doing the exact same thing he was doing here.
And then got hurt. And then got hurt during the playoff push at the end of the season.
He was moving.
So I hate stuff like that because Hayward had every chance to have the expanded role here, but every time he would like start off a game bad or go cold for a stretch, you wouldn't see him like the rest of the night.
Man, them missed layups during that Miami series made me want to see my TV.
Exactly. It's like those stuff like that. I hate when players try to like narrative their way through interviews and stuff like that.
Like if he had just been like, I went for money, or I like this team a little bit more, I'd be like, whatever. I understand. But like, no, you ain't gotta lie. Like everyone who was a Celtics fan knew. That's also one of the other things. People talked about Gordon Hayward the whole time. And when Gordon Hayward went to the Hornets, everybody was like, yeah, look at the Hornets. I'm like, what do you mean, look at the Hornets? Look at the Hornets. Who's the Hornets?
Y'all lost this guy who did yada. That's like, bro, please.
Like, we watched the same games on national TV.
Like, it's a loss, but it's not perfect. Like last year, we'd have been fine if COVID and injuries didn't kill us all season.
Like the end of the 2019 season has not even been a year ago. Like y'all watched the same missed layups in the Miami series that we did.
Exactly, knock it off. Y'all were just saying that he wasn't worth the money, and then he gets the same amount of money, and that was some type of like tremendous loss.
Speaking of Hayward, the Miles Turner discourse, bro.
I want to like Miles Turner, I do, but they gotta stop it.
It's kind of like J. Cole. I kind of want to like J. Cole, but
y'all gotta be real, man.
About it, like, why are y'all acting like Miles Turner is this generational big man? Like every time I would turn on a Pacers game or look at the box score of a Pacers game, I see like 15 points, 5 boards, and three blocks or something like that. And I'm like, bro, Rob does that in the second quarter. Like, what are we talking about right now?
Like Turner is a great defender. He made it everything, but he plays very defense. But it's the reason he still hasn't been named to all NBA team. I mean, all defensive team yet. Because he like the maybe 6th best defensive big in the league. So it's Giannis. No one about it. Except for Giannis. Giannis number 1. So Giannis, Gobert, Bam, AD, Embiid, and then there's Miles Turner.
So it's like people were wanting us to trade for him so bad, and it's like
he's the
there's gonna be so much more money, and we not gonna go nowhere. Exactly. Like I'm so glad we banked on Rob, because Rob is less money, and when he's healthy, he's way better.
Y'all can defend, pass. He always open, roll man to the basket. He be sparking the fast break. Just like, come on, man.
The fact that he can pass is my favorite thing about him. Like, it's so many people who can catch lobs and dunk, but like the fact that he can be on the perimeter and make a pass inside to someone who's cutting, or them passes where he, as soon as he get it and come down, he throw that joint to somebody else. I'd be like,
that's why That's why I didn't get too mad at when he turned the ball over doing that, because he got the right intention. He's just trying to spark the break, but I guess lack of timing with him playing, so guys don't know that he's off to the races. He'll come down with the ball, and while he's still in midair, he's trying to get it to Kemba or somebody to run up for, and they're not looking.
I all I know, Marcus, Jalen, and Jason love him, so I can't be mad at him. They
Exactly.
because they know his intentions and
They know.
they respect it.
Because you could look at when we played with Rob when he finally started the second half of the season, how much faster and efficient the style of play got to.
Man, we
Come
looked.
on, yo.
I was like, I'm ready to see anybody at this point.
It's as opposed to being slow and bogging down the offense, trying to run 1,000 strings with Tyson Thompson taking up the whole restricted area, taking up the whole paint.
I wanted to like Tristan Thompson too, and I'm thankful for what he did at times. I'm thankful for his service. Scumbag season.
Scumbag season.
It is officially over though, unfortunately. My main man Daniel, thank you for your service.
I really appreciate Tice. We had Tice making like $5 million a year. He's supposed to be a backup, but he had no choice to start.
Get a good contract somewhere. Come to the C's.
Come to the C's for a season. Come get the stock up. Then it's about to be 6 man of the year level again, and then go get the bag that season.
This about to be the come get a bag team.
Like Evan Turner. Evan Turner saved his whole career with like 2 years in Boston.
Man, Thomas, Jay Crowder, Bradley, Jordan Crawford.
Y'all see it work.
We got testimonies. We got live testimonies.
Al, how it is.
We got Al got the bag.
Bro, I thought I was about to like re-sign for us for the low. And then here comes the Sixers trying to be nasty and spiteful and getting paid up. Elton Brand tried to be nasty and swipe Al on some high stuff.
And the Sixers trying to be big brained and was like, Embiid won't have to get guarded by Al if we have him on our team.
And he the Celtics cheap player for yada yada yada. Let's see how y'all do without him. And then threw the bag at the man. And then had an awful season.
They threw the bag. That was extremely spiteful. That was crazy.
I think he was trying to go talk to Pelicans and finesse the bag to something about the Sixers. That's cool though. Like I said, it don't pay to be nasty.
And it's crazy because he was still probably gonna stay, but he thought Kyrie was still gonna be there.
I don't know how he thought that.
He was like, yeah, I probably would have stayed. I know.
Ain't nobody in that locker room should have thought Kyrie was coming back.
Yeah, jeez.
That's all good. Let's move on from who's first. Like, you make music too, though.
Yes, sir.
So when did you start rapping or whatever?
So it's been about 3 years of like actually doing it seriously now. The first song I released, I'm pretty sure was released in the beginning of 2018. Mm-hmm. The first EP I dropped was on Thanksgiving of 2018. The first project I dropped was the beginning of New Year's of 2019, if I'm not mistaken. All these years are running together at this point.
They are. So it made you want to get into that lane, though.
Oh damn, that was 2020. That's crazy. But a lot of my like close friends make music. My best friend, he is the manager of Steady Hyperactive, which is currently on my shirt. So it's 9 of us in the group. A lot of them I have known for an extremely long time now. So Hollow, who is the manager of Steady, I've known him since like 8th grade. Afro, one of the people in the group, I've known him since elementary school. FaZe, I've known since middle school. And then some of them at this point I've known for like 4 years now, 4 years at least. So I have some people that I work with closely. My friend David, I've known him for a while, and then we got some friends like 605. They do stuff. So like it's just a lot of it was proximity based.
Mm-hmm.
And I just liked it so much. I was like, I feel like I know what good music is. I feel like I could make it.
Yeah. So, but y'all play like instruments or something like that growing up, or y'all just like music, so y'all decided to give it a try.
I think some of them did. I never played anything. The only thing I played was uh that recorder that they gave you in elementary school. I used to go crazy on that, but I ain't never played nothing further. I wanted to learn other stuff, but I do not have the patience to figure stuff out like that. Um,
Yeah.
I got DJ equipment for Christmas like a year ago, and I'm still trying to figure that out because I feel like I would love to do that. I just need to actually take the time and like sit and be like, all right, so this is what we're doing with this.
Locked in.
But yeah, that was kind of the only thing I would even consider playing at this point in my life.
That's dope. Your music pretty cool though. I didn't even know you rap till I seen what's the video you and your homeboy was like in the car rapping and stuff.
Yeah, that's
You
me.
had the
Yeah,
you had the Inner Scanter reference at the end of the joint.
yeah, that was me and David.
Yeah.
Or that was Slick Jordan Woods.
Yeah. I think I like clicked on your page one day or something. Like, it was like your pen tweet. I clicked on it. That's kind of hard.
I appreciate it. Yeah,
No problem, no problem.
I try to make I try to reference a lot of things that, or I try not to do like metaphors and things that are like very common. Like I feel like it's easy to kind of get caught up in the cool as whatever, hot as whatever. But like, now I was thinking of that. I can't go back home like I'm cancer. I was like, really can't go back. That nigga really can't go back to the crib.
Yeah. But that's dope though. So did you take a while to like learn the style of music you wanted to make? Or like as soon as you started, it just like came to you?
I think it definitely. I think it more so took me longer to get comfortable with what I wanted to do, and finding my voice and be comfortable with my voice. It's definitely still times where I'll make something and I might not like it until like 3 months down the line, or I always try to at least not hold myself like hold too high standards on myself, just because I know like when you listen to other artists, even if there might be some type of mistakes or like something may not be mixed the way it's supposed to, whatever, you still really like it, and you may not even barely notice it unless somebody points it out to you. But like with your own stuff, it's very easy for you to be critical of things that you're doing. So I'm like, and then I was watching Kenny Beats talk about like making music, and he was talking about how you shouldn't present stuff with um, disclaimers. So it's like if you are gonna show this, like just be like, this is it. And if there's something that you plan on changing in it, just change it, whatever, or just do whatever you got to do with it. But like if you gotta present something and be like, well, I'm planning on doing this, this, and this with it, just so you know, like it's not no point of you really trying to show it.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was really just more about me getting comfortable with what I was doing, getting comfortable with my voice, getting comfortable with actually hearing myself. It'll be times where people will play my music in front of me, and I'll be like, ugh.
Yeah, I hate hearing myself recorded. Like when I try to listen to these like podcasts back, I get so like irritated with how I sound.
I am doing that right now. Like, who is that?
Exactly.
So yeah, that really be the only thing.
But that's what's up though. That's what's up that for y'all. I tried to my friends like make music and stuff. Like I used to like record I had like the like set up my basement so he could like come over and like do his thing because he said he wanted to like rap. And I used to like have like the funnest time like sitting in the basement all day trying to figure out the right buttons to press, how to edit this correctly to make it sound like that, how to tell him to come into the verse and tell him to you need to put more emphasis on this or say this like this and stuff like that. Like back in like this like a couple years ago though. That used to be like this super fun. So how's that whole process like for you though? That frustrating? Is that fun? Is that
The main part for me that I be having to worry about is like when somebody sends me a beat, I'll like write everything out. I'll kind of like think about how I may want certain things to sound or like how I want to hit certain lines, and I'll practice it for quite a while. Like I record with my homie Vos. I got a couple songs with him as well. Um, and uh, usually like when I record things, it doesn't particularly take me long to record a song because I'm kind of just flying through whatever I got to say. Because most of the time, like I done practiced it so much, I kind of know how I want to do this. And then it's really just about like when it's time for him to go and mix it, I'd be like, hey, you do what you got to do. I know what I want to do for this, but if you want to try this, like, let's see how it goes. A lot of the stuff on the last thing I released for Grown, that was kind of him like experimenting with some of the sounds and things like that. So um, that's really be the main thing. I don't really got to worry about much.
I feel you. So when the song or project finish, you be walking with your chest up for a couple of days, don't you? You walk around like you him once you know you got some heat, you know.
When I finish and when I release it, and just hearing people's genuine reactions to it, that be kind of be the thing that keeps me going, especially like my family, because I feel like when you start, the odd thing about starting um, things for yourself, whether it be like a podcast or music or art or whatever, is like showing the people you care about. Because then you like, I wonder what these people are gonna say about this. And especially with me rapping, I did not know what my parents were gonna say. And it's like, I don't even remember how my parents found out. But my mom was like, "Hey, I like this," and I was like,
Word.
"What?" Oh,
That's the battery in your back right there, though.
I guess that's cool. So that really be the thing that keeps me going.
That's what's up, bro. That's what's up. Y'all be performing and stuff, don't you? I seen you posted a pic for was it Halloween last year, I think.
Yeah,
Where you had the dude from
Karapika.
Yeah, Karapika.
Yeah,
He's on stage with the Karapika outfit on.
there was a lot of different it was a lot of people dressed up that day. One of my friends was Gojo. One of my friends was a member there. One of my friends was Obito. One of my friends was, I'm gonna look at this picture. Who all was who? I know one of my friends was Harry Potter. One it was a very fun day. We performed at this barcade called Reboot, and everybody was just in their bag. And one of my friends was Skeletor. There we go. I'm thinking for this Halloween, I want to be Vash from Trigun, but I don't know where I'm gonna find that jacket, and I don't know how I feel about carrying that big ass gun, especially being black.
You might have to leave the gun at home.
Yeah, it's gonna be kind of scary.
I'm trying to leave the weapon where you at.
It's not a lot of people that I really be like. I want to be somebody cool, but that I also don't want to run into nobody else.
Yeah, I went to when my brother went to Comic Con a couple years ago. I went as Luffy, and he was of Anbu for Naruto.
Them niggas be getting clapped.
Yeah.
Them Anbu niggas be food.
Boys be getting smoked.
Ain't that Naruto is such a fun.
Don't get me started on Naruto.
Christ, it's crazy because I feel like Naruto was really one of the greatest things I've seen, and then Shippuden threw everything out the window. and I'll be talking to my friends who really like Naruto, and I'll be like, but One Piece. one of my friends, one of my friends, like he loves Naruto to death, and he caught up on One Piece, and he's like, I still don't like this better than Naruto, and I'm like, bro, how? Like, bro, you are in Wano, like you watching niggas get busy right now.
Exactly.
How?
Exactly. My friends refuse to watch One Piece. They keep complaining about the length. I was like, you don't have to. It's like you don't have to finish all the one. It's like it's not going nowhere, bro.
All I'll be telling people is like, what you gonna watch it, and it's gonna be a certain point where you be like, damn, this is too many episodes, and then you're gonna be like, damn, this needs more episodes.
Exactly.
I remember finally getting to Wano, and I'm like, bro, I'm about to be caught up, and I don't want to be caught up.
Bro, I was so mad today. I finished.
I finally caught up on the episode where Luffy like took the poison or whatever when they was in the jail. And in Wano, and I was like, bro, I gotta read. And then once I caught up on the reading, I was like, bro, what the hell am I at once a week? Like, and then only on breaks, and I'm like,
oh man, the breaks be killing me. I be like, don't be having the like strength to read once they come back on break.
And I'll be understanding because I know he be going hard, so I'm like,
y'all let the artist cook. How long did it take you to catch up?
So I started in November of 2019, and then November 2019. Yeah, I started November 2019, and then I caught up by November 2020. And really, the only reason why it took me longer than that is because I remember I took a break during, I think after Skypea, so I could. No, I took a break after Enos Lobby because I wanted to catch up to One Piece. I mean, I wanted to catch up to Adventure Time because I never watched Adventure Time all the way through. And I definitely do not regret that because that was amazing. And then it took me so long to finish Thriller Bark because I was like, I don't know, dog. I was like, this Moria not really doing it for me, but that ending, it made it all worth it. And it's crazy because I ain't like Skypea like that either until I got close to the end. But then I rewatched it with one of my friends, and I was like, damn, this is gas. Like I don't really know I was missing that time. It just set the stage for so many things that I didn't really notice. And then I think I took a break after right after the time skip, just to kind of like let some stuff sit. And then once I finished Fishman Island, I was breezing through. And then okay, so the only other break I took was when Luffy was fighting Cracker. I was like, bro, I need this to end now. I was so sick of this. That fight felt so filler. I was like, I need this to be done. But then once that ended, Whole Cake was. My friends were telling me they ain't like Whole Cake like that, and I was like, how? I was like that. But the dinner was crazy. The fight was crazy. Dang, niggas died. The escape was crazy. Germa was crazy. I was like, bro, I don't know how y'all like this. I like Whole Cake more than yours.
I don't know. It's tough. It's neck and neck for me.
The only reason why I would say that is because Dressrosa kind of went on a little bit too long. Like it was like I remember the beginning of Dressrosa. I was like, oh, this is the greatest arc I have ever seen. Yeah. And then they just kept doing stuff, and I'm like,
see, I like see. So you watched Dressrosa. I was like reading at that point though. So for me, it was kind of like I finished that whole. It was like 102 chapters or something. I finished that joint like maybe like a weekend. That's how locked in I was to that job. I was reading like when I first got to work when I was at home. So it only took me like a couple of days. I was like, yo, this is the
I,
greatest thing
I heard
ever.
manga pacing is a lot better, so I can definitely understand that. But yeah, that watching that on the anime, I was like, man, y'all doing a lot. Like just the unveiling of what all Doflamingo was doing
It's
with the
nuts.
toys and what the toys were. I was like, this man is the most evil thing I've seen.
That's what. See, that's one thing I love it for, because it will introduce like so many elements, like in like one arc, but or like 3 arcs back, it'll introduce like some tiny and insignificant, and then it'll finally all pay off and like come together. In the end product is always like so fun and like
Man,
rewarding
I
too.
seen that man in Skypiea and he did that walk behind Kuma. I was like, it's not like this nigga with the mink. He look kind of cool. I don't really know who this is. When they was introducing the warlords, like I was like, all right, I see it. But
Cool. He,
just the fact that he ended up being as important as he was wild.
it's crazy. One Piece,
Man,
One Piece is one of them.
Now,
Right.
if Oda do anything, it's a backstory.
If he do anything, he gonna do a backstory.
That man backstories be fire. I do not know how the fact that he made niggas care about Odin as much as he did is just a testimony to greatness.
So Odin's my top 5 favorite characters, and all we got from him was a backstory. That man was lit.
At most 10, he was in like 10 chapters. Like
Exactly, that's my guy though.
is the GOAT. Like Oda was like, all right, I got y'all. Hey, because the whole time I'm just like, I mean, niggas talking about Odin. I'm like, I mean, I guess cool, I guess, but sorry, your nigga dead.
Yeah, exactly.
They have been talking about Odin since what's his name got introduced, and in Punk Hazard, and next thing you know, like Oda, like,
Odin, that man was living.
Let me show y'all something.
That man got his bad for that show.
I know that man hand was on fire right in
My thing was, I felt bad. I didn't even want to read the Odin backstory, so I like took a break reading it until it was finished. Then I finally read the whole thing. I was like,
this man Kaido was so shook.
We gonna get Kaido out of here. I can't wait for that, man.
That boy about to be on his shirt. I'm so excited about to get
my Kaido theory is that he's the Drew Brees of all the like elite pirates. So you gotta look at it. When everybody else was outside and alive, he was held up on Wano, chilling, dominating the weak little people over there.
He was playing in that dome. Like Drew
exactly. He was in the dome. Exactly. When Whitebeard and Roger was outside, Kaido was in Wano, setting off from the rest of the world. Quiet.
They was in the field and he was not.
And he's sitting there mid-battle having flashbacks about and PTSD over dude who been dead for like 20 years. Like, man, you're not him.
They put Odin in boiling hot water, and this man says, "Shoot him right now, please."
Please, that's the only way y'all gonna tell him.
Like, really? Please shoot him. Like, that man was shook. Zoro pulled up with Emma, and he was like, "Nigga, is that Odin?" No fucking. Big Mom said, "Bro, if you don't dodge, you about to die."
Big Mom said, "You don't get yourself together like you over here having panic attacks."
I heard a lot of. I was hearing a lot of Big Mom slander as I was catching up, but I really like Big Mom. Right.
I respect her as the character, but I hate her. I don't like. She's not a bad character. I just hate. But I guess she's doing her job.
Yeah, she's definitely doing her job because I hate her as a character, but like I love her character and I hate her because she's like really. When she pulled up on Wano, I was like, no way. But just her introduction when Luffy called her and was like, "Nigga, I ate all your shit." She's like, "Nigga, what?" Luffy was like, "I'm gonna kick your ass all the way up and down the New World," and she said, "Bet." And she been terrorizing this man ever since.
She cut like that.
She cut from a different cloth. Then when they shot that missile at her and that missile bounced off, I'm like, oh nah.
Yeah, she one of them. like it or hate it, she like that.
Any other Yonko would have been toast. Done. Done. If niggas would have made an Odin missile at Kaido, he's done.
Oh, snap. Well, I'll still wrap this joint on up, though. So you already know at the end of every episode, we do the top 5 joint. So you ready?
Let me just explain this to me. Just so
all right, at the end of every episode, we do a top 5 segment where I gotta ask you a handful of questions and get your faves.
Okay, I'll just go. All right, bet.
So you ready?
Yes, sir.
All right, first off, the generic sports question. Get your top 5 favorite hoopers.
Rondo, Smart, Jaylen Brown, Jason, and KD.
Nice. Let me get your. So we're on top of the One Piece. Let me get your top 5 One Piece characters.
Luffy, Zoro, Law, Robin, and bro, it's so many characters. So damn cool. This is. I think. I might go with Whitebeard. I'm gonna say Roger. I'm gonna say Roger.
All right. And the last one. Let me get your top 5 artists that influence you.
Saba, Michael Christmas, I gotta look through artists I listen to. So I be listening to so many things on a daily basis. I be listening to 70s soul music to work out.
Got to.
That inspire me. I'm trying to. Isaiah. Jayden. And I think I'm gonna say Careful.
Who?
Is you remember No Small Talk by Camino? The girl that was on that song.
Oh, okay.
I have been listening to her since then, and she
like that. For sure. All right, that's it. Well, I appreciate you coming on, bro.
Listen, I appreciate you having me. I can't wait.
Anytime. You and the homies had y'all the Celtics homies from the timeline, especially the black dudes. Don't seem like there's many of us sometimes.
Now, I might not gonna be running with the posse, so I'm probably gonna have to defend Grant for a couple hours.
Y'all boys be dogging, bro. Well, they be dogging, bro.
Right, man, when I first came in there and I seen they was giving Grant hell, I was like, what happened? And every time I ask, they always be like, we don't know. And I'm like, you hate to see it. And I always understand it's always somebody in a friend group that just gets it for no reason.
Definitely. And Grant just happened to be that guy.
Grant just happened to be that guy.
So I appreciate you coming on, dog.
I appreciate you having me. Be easy, bro.
No problem. You too.